Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 XBL here review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Perfect Dark 64, which if you never played it before, it's a first person shooter, and it's one that I still find to this day puts many of the shooters that come out to complete and utter shame. So anyway, why do I love it so much? Because, well, it's got depth. Basically, you can go around the Carrington Institute if you want to, and through the Carrington Institute you will find all sorts of things. You'll find training modes, you'll find extra modes, which is basically things like practice with a weapon. You have to shoot targets and get points, and there's 3 different skill levels for it, and it really does help you get good with a weapon. There's then also the ability to, well, learn how to use all of the gadgets, like the cloaking device and things like that. Of course, at any point, if you want to go back to the main game, you can hit start, and then you've got the main game, which is your solo missions, your combat simulator, cooperative and counter-operative. Counter-op, the whole point is one of you plays a good guy, one of you plays a bad guy, whoever kills the other wins. Or, in the case of the good guy, if you complete the mission, you win. And the bad guy can respawn again and again and again. Cooperative, well, doesn't really need any explanation. Combat Simulator is the multiplayer for Versus, which can be played online. However, I personally hate the online on this game. They've done a really bad job. It's laggy, it's glitchy, it's full of quitters, and I think it's the one downside to the overall package. You've then got the single player, which has the regular 20 missions, and then also the duel that you can unlock. You can play it in 3 different difficulty settings, and Perfect Agent still is a bitch. Every time I've got near to beating the first mission, I always fail and mess up and die. And it's one of those, I will one day get around to beating this damn game on Perfect Agent. I had almost got it done on the N64 version when my game bloody died on me, so I lost 15 missions of Perfect Agent's beat. And ever since then I've just not had the energy to bother to go through it. But the whole point is, though, it's a first person shooter, only it's not like first person shooters of today. If you die, you don't respawn a minute earlier, having barely lost any progress whatsoever. You go back to the goddamn start of the level the way it should be. When you go on to a higher difficulty level, the enemies aren't just harder and you haven't just got less ammo, there's also more objectives to complete. And the objectives on the game are incredibly vague because you're supposed to actually have some sort of brain capacity to be able to work them out and play the game. This is, as far as I'm concerned, the true definition of a real first-person shooter. Not your Modern Warfares, yes, your Half-Lifes, because, well, Half-Life pretty much is the same as this. It's a case of figuring out what to do and when. So, it's not just a run in, run and gun, kill everything in sight, and then you've accomplished the mission. You are going to have to use some thought, and to help you along your way, you've actually got all of your briefing, which, again, when the hell do games now bring up a proper briefing? That isn't just go in and kill this guy. So this tells you all the extra stuff about your objectives, it tells you what you're looking for, and gives you hints as to where it is. This mission here, on Agent, the whole point is to get to the lift at the bottom of the level. On Perfect Agent, you have to disable the security, disable the comms, you have to kidnap one of the classier hackers to hack into the system for you, then get to the lift. So it's one of those, the game greatly changes depending on what difficulty level you play it on. So that's basically the main game described, and out of the 20 missions, I think it's 17 are pretty much playable if you beat the game on Agent. You then get the next one for beating it on Special Agent, and the next one for beating it on Perfect Agent, and basically you can then unlock Dark Agent, which was a bitch. It's one of those things, again, I'd beat a few levels on Dark Agent, but it really was a bitch, and it's one of those that if you're not a fan of hard games, don't even bother with Dark Agent. So you've then got all the cheats that you could unlock on the last game as well, and unfortunately it's remembering how to bloody find them. Part of me thinks that it's something as awkward as having to walk out of the main room to get to them. So anyway, while I'm looking for the cheats, I will actually mention the things that people are probably interested in. The transfer pack. Basically on the N64 you had the ability to plug in a pack with a Game Boy Color game, etc, etc. If you want more information on it, Google it, but it meant that you could get a few cheats early. Well, they've addressed this issue, unlike Nintendo with the recent re-release of Mario Tennis. Rare have actually made it so now you can get the cheats in other ways, and you can also get them if you've got Perfect Dark Zero data. However, the Perfect Dark Zero data thing is broken at the moment, and we're waiting for a patch, because only a few people are able to actually access it. Because I've got Perfect Dark Zero data, and I don't have the cheats. So, anyway, The other thing, obviously, reason for why I actually get this on the Xbox wasn't just online play, which is why it's a good thing that not a good thing that the online's crap, but it's a good thing that the other reason's there, and that is obviously the dual analog, because you could kind of do dual analog on an N64 pad if you had two of them, but this now has proper dual analog. It plays fantastic, and the only downside to dual analog is the fact that they've not increased the sensitivity, and it's something that really does grind on me, because especially now that I'm into PC FPSs, I like to have a more sensitive reticule, and this is pretty much as fast as it goes. You can make it so that the Y-axis is actually faster than the X-axis, but that just really annoys me because there's such a difference. You will notice it right away and it'll put you off. So if you're a fan of fast reticules, then it is going to take quite a while to get back into it. However, it's something that's well worth doing, because this really is, as far as I'm concerned, the best first-person shooter ever made, with Half-Life coming a close second. So, you've then got the combat simulator, which you might have noticed I'm on now. And the game is fantastic with the combat simulator because it's 4-player split screen, and you can even take the 4 people online. So, it's one of those situations where if you've got some buds, you can have some good fun with this. It's got all the stuff that the original one had. You can unlock a whole heap of custom options to customise the weapon layouts and things like that. You can change the maps. Obviously you've got quite a few maps to get and unlock. There's the challenge system, which is still the same, where the whole point is you play against bots under ridiculous circumstances, and the whole point is to kick the crap out of them. And like, for example, there's one where I'm pretty sure you're constantly dying, you're constantly losing health, they're not, and you've got to get 20 kills before they kill you 5 times. It is totally mad stuff like that. And again, the challenges are one of those that's not for the faint of heart. You've then also got, obviously, the dual wielding system has remained, which is good, and pretty much everything that you liked about the original has been redone, just in high def. They've not messed around with it, they've not fucked about, which is something that really does annoy me when people remake games that completely fuck with things that they don't need to, and this doesn't. It really is the game that you played 10, 12 years ago, only on a new pad. But there's pretty much nothing left really to say. I mean, one of the most important things you might have noticed already is it still has the classic GoldenEye matches, because obviously there was a big worry with licensing laws that they wouldn't be able to put them on, but thankfully they have done, because the Complex, which is the level I'm on now, I've always thought that it is pretty much the best, most perfect designed multiplayer map on anything ever. It's the one that I spent most of my time playing on, and in all honesty, when it is just me and a certain friend, we never change the map ever, because we, as far as we're concerned, we don't need to. The other maps might as well not be on it. The weapon set is still thankfully balanced. Again, as I say, they've not messed with anything, so the weapon set is pretty much there intact and all that. You've got the laptop guns you can still throw on the wall that can get you kills for you, and the laptop guns are pretty much the great equaliser of the game, because even if you're crap, a laptop gun can get you a few kills just by throwing it on the wall. And it's one of those, it adds a lot of randomness into the thing, because you've got to then use skill to place the laptop gun and put it in the right position, and it can really turn the tide of battle and make it so that it's not a case of the same guy wins over and over again, unless of course that guy just happens to be excellent with a laptop gun, and then he will win over and over again. So nothing really to say about the game other than that if you've never played it before and are wondering what the hype's about, get the demo. If you have played it before and are wondering if the game's just as good as it always was, it is. And I'll shut up and let you listen to a bit of the absolutely fantastic music. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you've enjoyed it, or at least found it helpful. You might have noticed I didn't score the game. Well, that's because it's a matter of personal opinion, and yours may very well differ from my own. I'm just here to show you a bit about the game. If you like it or not, well, that's up to you. If you don't like it, or you do like it, feel free to comment. Also, if I haven't answered any of your questions that you may have had, I might have forgot something, or it might just be something obscure. Again, feel free to comment, ask, always willing to help out. Otherwise, if you don't like commenting on YouTube, head over to www.vc-forums.com, where you can chat with me and a bunch of other lads who love the VC, the WiiWare, and hell, even a lot of other systems. We cater to pretty much everything. You can just go there, have a chat about a game, ask about some games, etc. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.